Welcome to Vintage Variety. I have a small thrift haul to show you guys today. All of these items came from one of my small local thrift stores. I've been working on content for the items that I showed you guys in the most recent videos. Those were repair items. And I'm still not finished with that video, so I thought I would go ahead and show these. I picked these up this week, and I think it's a pretty interesting little haul. So I'm going to get everything sorted out, and I'll show you guys these items one at a time. This first necklace was a really good find. This is a vintage glass beaded necklace. All of the beads appear to be in really good condition. I don't see any chips or cracks in them. So definitely wearable. And I really loved the disc-shaped beads on this necklace. This one isn't signed anywhere. It has an older spring ring clasp on it. But to me, this type of jewelry is just irresistible. They are wonderful pieces, whether you want to layer them with other necklaces or wear them on their own. I also found this really cute pair of floral earrings. And I'm going to try to get these apart and show them to you. These are clip-ons. So these are signed. Try to zoom in a little. These are Sarah Coventry earrings. And on the back, they're simply marked Sarah Cove. Hopefully that's coming in clear so you guys can see the marking on it. A lot of times with Sarah Coventry, it can be marked different ways. I've seen pieces marked Sarah Cove, Sarah Coventry, or sometimes just Sarah. So that's pretty clear there, and you can see it has the little copyright mark. These are white enameled. They have gold centers. I do see a couple of little nicks on the enameling of them, but to me, that's perfectly fine. These are vintage earrings, and if they were worn, I don't think that would be all that noticeable. I also feel like these would look absolutely beautiful with the necklace that I showed you guys previously. In fact, let's have a look at that necklace along with these earrings together on the jewelry stands. Here's a look at this beautiful necklace on the necklace stand. As I've already mentioned, it would look great worn by itself. It would also be a great piece for layering with other pieces. Let's look at the earrings with the necklace. I think these two would look great worn together. They seem to be almost a perfect match, but you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I also picked up this dainty little Brighton cross necklace, and I was really unsure about this one. It looked very discolored. I've talked about Brighton jewelry before. Brighton jewelry is not sterling silver jewelry. It is silver-plated jewelry, and they put a special coating, kind of like an enameling over that plating. So you can't really clean this jewelry with regular jewelry cleaners, because if you do, you could damage that coating and your piece is just not going to come back from that. One thing that I suggest is that you use a jewelry polishing cloth, such as the ones that you can buy to clean sterling silver pieces. And I'm going to show you the one that I've been using, and it seems to be working out very well. This was a new one, and look how dirty that necklace was. I still have a few spots. Some of it came off on my fingers, but the ends of the cross were really discolored. They had a lot of tarnish on them, and also the closure on this. In fact, I think there's still a spot on here that looks kind of dirty. But the way I cleaned this is I just kept rubbing it across the cloth very vigorously, just like I'm doing here. And it seemed to be taking all that tarnish off. These cloths, I feel like, are gentle enough to use on pieces of Brighton jewelry. I've used them before with a lot of success. And you can see it took that little bit of tarnish that was left on there off. So if you run across Brighton pieces, just look at them very closely and kind of feel them with your finger. And if they feel kind of lumpy, like the enameling's gone, you're probably not going to be able to bring that piece back to life and clean it. But if you run across a piece that's not too badly damaged, a lot of times you can just use one of these cloths and get it polished up again. So this is cleaning up very well. I think that this little necklace is going to look great once it's completely cleaned. I do need to clean the chain a little more, and I'm going to show you guys how I did that. I just laid it on the cloth and folded the cloth over it. And just very gently, I don't want to break the chain. I'm just pulling the chain through there to remove some of that tarnish. And I'm going to do it again on a clean spot so you guys can see where the tarnish is coming off of this. So I'm just going to fold it over and give it a pull. And you can already see right here, I have cleaned it a little, but just a good tip for you guys when you run across pieces of Brighton jewelry, or if you have pieces of Brighton jewelry that you own. I also picked up a few bracelets. This one is a stretch bracelet. I've said it many times, I don't really like stretch bracelets. Not that there's anything wrong with them if you like them, but I like to pick these up if the price is reasonable to use for jewelry parts. This one has beautiful faceted glass beads and these gorgeous spacers that I could always repurpose into something else. These 3 bracelets came all together. I'm assuming someone at the thrift store kind of blotted them together in a little theme, and I thought they were really cute. This first one, there's nothing wrong with it. It has a cross dangling from it, beautiful faceted glass beads, and gorgeous blue cat's eye beads. So of course, I plan to leave this bracelet just the way it is. Now, as I mentioned, it does have a cross dangling from it, and my guess is that's why all of these bracelets were lotted together. They kind of have a theme going on here. This one is a stretch bracelet, also has crosses dangling from it. Most of the stretch is gone out of this bracelet, but the crosses and the beads, I could always reuse those. I could make another bracelet. I could turn the small crosses into earrings or even a necklace pendant. One thing I want to show you on this one is this bead has a heart on it. So they also added this silver tone heart bracelet with this little lot. So I thought this was a really good deal, but you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. I also ran across this necklace, and at first I thought, is that Brighton? I had to do a really good look over of it, but it's not. This is one of those pieces of jewelry that you'll run across every so often that is either imitating Brighton or just has a similar look to it. And I'll show you the closure on this. So definitely not a Brighton, but I really did like this. It's very big and bold, so I had an idea. I thought, you know, this is on a chain. It's meant to be worn at a longer length, but this would look so much better to take the chain off of this and put it onto a torque. This is a torque that I already had here, and I think that putting this on here would give it the look of a gorgeous statement necklace. I don't know if I would just put the cross by itself, or maybe take this top piece and leave the jump rings on it and attach it that way. But I think that's a really neat idea. I think this would look really great worn on a torque, and I'm probably going to do that, and then I'll come back and I'll show you guys the result. So this is the result, and I really like the way this turned out. I did decide to leave the top piece on here, and I'm going to show you the other torque. This is the one I originally thought about putting it on, but this one's for my personal collection. So I looked through my stash of jewelry supplies, and I found this one. It's a little more flexible, and I'm going to show you what this looks like on the necklace stand. I feel like this looks 100% better on a torque. And I'm going to say that because when I saw it in the thrift store, I thought, you know, that really looks like maybe a little too much or a little outdated. By taking it off of that chain and putting it on the torque so it could be worn at a shorter length, it took it from being kind of drab into something that could be worn as a beautiful, bold statement piece. This would look great worn just as it is, layered with some more silver chains, or I could even combine it with this dainty Brighton necklace that I showed you guys earlier. I really do like this look, but you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Would you have left it as it was, or do you think it looks better like this? A few more bracelets that I picked up today. I mean, I was really on a roll with buying bracelets. These are real pearls. They've been dyed, and they're a pretty pink color. And not all that expensive. It's just a simple stretch bracelet. But I do like picking these up, as I've already said, to use them for when I'm making jewelry. These would look really pretty incorporated into a necklace. I could incorporate these with glass beads or even some semi-precious stones. A beautiful bangle that I picked up. When I picked this one up, I noticed that it had some weight. I checked it for any seams, and I had a funny suspicion that this was Bakelite. It certainly had the feel and the sound of it. So when I got home, I tested it, and it turns out that it is. So I may very well keep this one for my personal collection because I don't often run across pieces of Bakelite. Now this one, this really caught my eye, and let's see if you guys can see what I saw. I had to look at it a couple of times. First of all, the silver part of this bracelet I thought was really unique and interesting. And do you guys see what I'm seeing? This was made out of a spoon, and I really do love spoon jewelry. I have a spoon bracelet that I wear all the time. So I knew I was going to go ahead and pick this up, and I think that maybe someone made this. They have it on a leather band, and I'm going to show you how it looks on my wrist. This one has 2 snaps on the back of it, so it can be adjusted. I'm going to wear it on the last snap or the furthest out. But isn't this a cool looking bracelet? I love the combination of the silver spoon handle and the black leather. Just a few more items to show you from this thrift haul. I don't know what it is about this type of necklace, but I am constantly running across them. These were very popular in the 90s. They kind of have a V shape at the front of them. This one's a really pretty gold tone with a large rhinestone set into the front. I'm not crazy about this type of chain. It's a snake chain, but this type is easy to get kind of kinked up. But there's nothing wrong with it. The chain's in pretty good condition. It has a spring ring closure. Don't see any markings on it anywhere. But I really do like this. I think that this necklace would look relevant today, worn as a simple statement piece or either layered with other pieces. Here is a quick look at this one on the necklace stand, and I really do like this style of necklace. It's simple, understated, but it really does have an elegant look to it. I also picked up these really pretty rhinestone earrings. These do look quite a bit older. They are pierced. And they have this really pretty teardrop shaped purple cabochon in the center. They're in excellent condition, and this is a pair that I certainly wouldn't mind wearing. What do you guys think? I also managed to score this dainty little ring. Isn't this pretty? It has a green cabochon set in the center. It's in excellent condition, no wear on it. It is a smaller size, probably about a size 6, but what really drew me to this was it is a vintage Avon, and I love the vintage Avon pieces. I feel like they were so well made, and a lot of people like to collect them. I do have a small personal collection of my own, so definitely a really good find. I also found a couple of brooches, and I really like this one. It's very simple, kind of understated. It is a vintage brooch. I don't see any markings on it, but I really like the look of the 2 leaves combined. It gives it that 3-dimensional look. So this would look really pretty, maybe put through a string of pearls and worn like a pendant, or even worn on the lapel of a jacket. Then I found this one, and I think that this one is copper. It does have a little bit of verdigris on it right there in the corner, so I'm definitely going to have to clean this one. And I'll turn it around and I'll show you guys the back. It almost looks like maybe it was artisan made. And when the light hits it there on the edge, you can kind of see that coppery color coming through. So definitely going to give this one a good cleaning, get rid of the verdigris that's on it. I'll just have to be careful because I don't want to damage the faux pearls that are dangling from the bottom of it. But regardless, I thought that this was a very unique and unusual piece of jewelry. The last item out of my thrift haul is this beautiful necklace. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. The pendant on this is a slice of stone, and you can see it's been polished out. It's very smooth, and I love all of the colors that are flowing through this. Kind of greens and a real dark teal color. And then the beads on this, of course, they do look like turquoise. This is faux turquoise, or rather dyed howlite. And I'm okay with that. I have no problem wearing faux turquoise. I do like the looks of this. And I also like the fact that it has that chunky layered look to it, because along with long necklaces, which are going to be back in style for 2026, so are chunky necklaces and necklaces that are layered together for that chunky look. Here's a look at this one on the necklace stand, and I really like jewelry like this because whether your look or the way you like to dress, let's say you like to dress very modern or even casual, boho or southwestern style, a piece of jewelry like this will go with any of those styles, and I think that's what I like about it so much. But you guys, let me know what your opinion is on this one in the comments. I feel like this was a pretty good little thrift haul. I found a few vintage pieces and a lot of really nice pieces that I certainly wouldn't mind wearing. I think that my favorite piece, and a piece that I certainly intend to keep and wear, is the leather bracelet made from a spoon handle. I would really be interested to know in the comments which pieces were your favorites. And if you enjoyed today's content, please remember to give me a thumbs up. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to share these items with me. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Ring the bell for notifications, and you'll be notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.